Hello friends, good morning to everyone. I'm S.Rohini, Assistant Professor of EEE Department, Seth Institute of Technology. Now we are going to discuss about thermal power plants. A thermal power station is a power station in which heat energy is converted to electric power. In most places, the turbine is steam driven. Water is heated, turns into steam and spins a steam turbine which drives an electrical generator. After it passes through the turbine, the steam is condensed in a condenser and recycled to where it was heated. This is known as a Rankine cycle. The greatest vibration in the design of thermal power stations is due to the different heat sources. Fossil fuel power generation, through nuclear heat energy, solar heat energy, biofuels are also used. Some prefer to use the term energy center because such facilities convert forms of heat energy into electrical energy. Certain thermal power stations are also designed to produce heat for industrial purposes, for district heating or desalination of water, in addition to generating electrical power. Now we are going to discuss about the following topics, and these are the contents. First one is introduction, next one is working principle, third one is general layout of thermal power plant, next one is main equipments, and the last one is merits and demerits. Now we will see about the introduction of a thermal power plant. A thermal power plant converts the heat energy of coal into electrical energy. Coal is burnt in a boiler which converts water into steam. The expansion of steam in turbine produces mechanical power which drives the alternator coupled to the turbine. Thermal power plants contribute maximum to the generation of power for any country. Thermal power plants constitute 75.43% of the total installed captive and non-captive power generation in India. In thermal generating stations, coal, oil, natural gas, etc. are employed as primary sources of energy. In the working principle, firstly, the water is taken into the boiler from a water source. The boiler is heated with the help of coal. The increase in temperature helps in the transformation of water into steam. The steam generated in the boiler is sent through a steam turbine. The turbine has blades that rotate when high velocity steam flows across them. This rotation of turbine blades is used to generate electricity. A generator is connected to the steam turbine. When the turbine turns, electricity is generated and given as output by the generator, which is then supplied to the consumers through high voltage power lines. This is the general layout of thermal power plant that constitutes ash handling process, coal handling process, boiler, and these are all the main components. Importantly, boiler is the main important component in the layout of thermal power plant. So the following are the components that are present in the thermal power plant. The first one is boiler, economizer, air preheater, condenser, cooling tower, alternator, and turbine. Through the alternator, the power is supplied to the consumers and the input is given through the turbine. As we have seen in the last slide, in the layout of thermal power plant, these are all the main equipments. The first one is coal handling plant, second one is pulverizing plant, and then boiler, turbine, condenser, cooling towers and pans, feed water heater, economizer, and air preheater. In the coal handling plant, the coal is transported to power station by rail or road and stored in coal storage plant and then pulverized. The function of coal handling plant is automatic feeding of coal to the boiler furnace. A thermal power plant burns enormous amounts of coal. A 200 megawatt plant may require around 2000 tons of coal daily. In modern thermal power plant, coal is pulverized, that is, ground to dust like size and carried to the furnace in a stream of hot air. Pulverizing is a means of exposing a large surface area to the action of oxygen and consequently helping combustion. Pulverizing process consists of 3 stages that are classified as feeding, drying, and grinding. Now we will see about the function of boiler and turbine. The function of boiler is to generate steam at desired pressure and temperature by transferring heat produced by burning of fuel in a furnace to change water into steam. In thermal power plants, generally there are 3 turbines that are used to increase the efficiency. And the first type is high pressure turbine, second type is intermediate pressure turbine, and the last one is low pressure turbine. The next important component in a thermal power plant is a condenser. The surface condenser is a shell and tube heat exchanger where cooling water flows through tubes and exhaust steam fed into the shell surrounds the tubes. As a result, steam condenses outside the tubes. The next important component is cooling towers and ponds. A condenser needs huge quantity of water to condense the steam. Most plants use cooled cooling system where warm water coming from condenser is cooled and reused. Cooling tower is a steel or concrete hyperbolic structure with the height of 150 meters. And the next one is feed water heater. Feed water heating improves overall plant efficiency. Thermal stresses due to cold water entering the boiler drum are avoided. Quality of steam produced by the boiler is increased. And another one important component is an economizer. Flue gases coming out of the boiler carry lot of heat. An economizer extracts a part of this heat from flue gases and uses it for heating feed water, saving coal consumption and higher boiler efficiency. And the next important component is air preheater. The function of air preheaters is to preheat the air before entering to the furnace by utilizing some of the energy left in the flue gases before exhausting them to the atmosphere. After flue gases leave economizer, some further heat can be extracted from them and used to heat incoming heat. Cooling of flue gases by 20 degrees centigrade increases the plant efficiency by 1%. In the ash handling plant, the ash from the boiler is collected in two forms. One is bottom ash and another one is fly ash. So these are all the advantages and disadvantages of the thermal power plant. The main advantages are the fuel used is quite cheap, less initial cost as compared to other generating stations. It can be installed at any place irrespective of the existence of coal. The coal can be transported to the site of plant by rail or roads. So the following are the disadvantages of a thermal power plant. It pollutes the atmosphere due to producing large amount of smoke and fumes, higher maintenance cost and operational cost, huge requirement of water. Thank you.